gender, and then the criticism, and then immigration, and then counterpoint.
You're gonna start with that middle immigration bit.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I have immigration separately. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and move it.
Can we get some?
Yeah, do you need?
Oh, I'm sorry,
before we
yeah.
start,
Oh, so if they need just sitting right there. Yeah.
And if you guys want, this is, 2 minutes to start.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And then is that timer again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, over here. Thank you. You ready?
They don't have a link differentiation. If we win, the more women go to the subordinate, they receive restitution, which solves global poverty. Conceded argument. Now the RICO advantage extend our Steinberger and Peterson evidence indicates there will be retaliation. This will go nuclear. Also, our Steinberger evidence indicates that biological terrorism is the worst threat because the nuclear weapons and other types of weapons are not other types of weapons cannot recreate themselves in different manners. Off gender advantage. They say the states solve that's not true. States may have addressed legislation, but they are not able to try them in the state courts. Instead, our Lopez evidence indicates that they are our Lopez evidence indicates that they are not able to solve them status quo because they are shitty types of judges who have a higher form of animals. Our Hagen evidence indicates that the are key to Title II, our plaintiffs key to Title II flooding because when we struck down in remorse and also our Goldfarb evidence indicates states are unable to solve two internally counterplan doesn't solve for our Johnson evidence indicates we do not need to change the court. We need to show through the court that women have an effect on commerce to change political mindset throughout the United States. And our Bivot evidence indicates that only Supreme Court is actually able to solve because they are more closely tied to norms and mores throughout society than throughout the Congress is now. The criticism of framework debate. First of all, they link to this argument because they're one in our arguments that we should not allow immigrants inside the United States because they lead to terrorism or just as racist as any claims that we make, and also we are linked to this argument because all our arguments about amnesty good or not fear of immigration. Now the framework debate they say that we destroy agency. That's not true. Our evidence in our 6.8 the political actions key it allows us to talk about agency. We are learning how to be policy. We do not exclude criticism, rather we can do both. We can talk about criticism in the context of the affirmative, but in order to impact to the criticism, they should have an impact to the weight of the affirmative. They say that we question what is the focus. They should have to do it with plain text. We don't allow afterwards where we get to choose negative ground, but whether we get to choose, we decide what we only get to choose the affirmative. But our held-up evidence indicates that we're not calling them terrorists bad because we attempt to find other more politically correct words which justify their cause over reportedly evidence indicates that or that we're refusing to call them out least to violence justify their cause. They see the alternative solves. It's a floating fake which is bad. It's a move situation strategy because the alternative does not do anything besides vote negative. They can't do the affirmative. It's in our reframing issue. Legitimizes terrorism. They deem themselves more legitimate in the world of something where you try to get rid of the word terrorism. The case outweighs this argument. 7.A is the economy and our terrorism arguments. If we attempt to solve terrorism, we are solving internally to all these arguments because in a world of a terrorist attack, we would retaliate, which leads to racism and genocide. But if without a terrorist attack, we would not have the shitty type of action of elitism and stuff. We should not allow bad shit happening that exploits elitism. Our Burke evidence indicates that the threat one is good. They say that this is not true over this type of action. Look, this evidence indicates that we should talk about the world in terms of threats because it allows us to be better. Majority evidence indicates the alternative that it just wants negative doesn't do anything in the permutation. They say that you should be an intellectual. That's not true. You should be a policymaker and an intellectual, but you should know you can be a racist person and still have a good idea, and our affirmative is a good idea because our quote evidence indicates that a discourse is not key, doesn't change any policy. They say that terrorism won't escalate that argument is still on the other phone. Now the immigration debate outlines their economy resilient argument here. Our IHD evidence, the 1 and C indicates that the economy is not resilient because other countries piggyback on the United States, and the United States key to the global economy proves that the other countries that look to the United States proves it's not resilient environment. Look, they conceded that all of their arguments about environmental impacts are biased based on media hype, and 99% of species have already died, which means that it's all of here terrorism. They say rhetoric. All our evidence indicates that we should have. We don't legalize. We just allow for resource immigration. Solves soft power, which solves terrorism. Intelligence, which solves terrorism, and solves resource trade-offs. All of these things solve terrorism from stopping conflict. 3. One of the frequently overlooked soft power aspects of U.S. national security is treatment of immigrants for those who receive U.S. land of opportunity, freedom, life, control, and war. Terrorists create an image of Americans as xenophobic and as isolationist. One of the tests that incorporates the foregoing with the English factor with limited resource on finding pointing out not going to work with these workers could come forward, making and provide information about DHS immigrants represent an new source of intelligence. They say that we don't solve because the Mexicans aren't here, so our evidence indicates that it's due to resources, other resources turned up elsewhere. And now the now that also they're immigrated, illegal immigration argument that's now the internal we don't legalize. We amnesty is now the aggregate addies to the economy GFC of 98 of the OES to help former other producers and the substance producers and to make our products much more full by $95 much inflation, but much of the Great Depression, agriculture, dissect of death, rest of the issue of all cause China from the NCC of one of the strong dollar to us. Change has been recognized arguably the most important factor in determining the global competitiveness of the United States. There's no internal link to the federal evidence exists about economic competitiveness. We win the internal link to the economy. We win the internal link to the circular population control. Their work amplified global population, not population inside the United States. We immigration from the economy here to require of 5 to comments into immigration reforms go a long way to easing pressure on our borders, strengthen our economy, long-term solution to addressing labor shortage with threat to weaken our economy. The decades to come and harsh immigration laws hurt the economy. Dr. Johnson and 3 U.S. as immigration laws are tightened and the name of security. Many people are excluded who otherwise would immigrate to America or seek to enter from religion or reason the U.S. economy. Therefore, it's fewer young immigrant workers who pay taxes and support rapidly aging Asian population recent declines in arrival of research and science foreign patients to us having adverse effects on important sectors of our economy and immigration solves the social security crisis from not going to be a higher immigration period with better work productivity good and simply ease social security problem. The future behavior of immigration is truly well contract future growth of the population and hence our population output account upon not vaccine or communication indicates that we should do the plan and then have the account plan and then have the account plan happen with revoking this. If this is a different function, that's not true because the account plan include the time for the government to be able to move around this time for instead our lifted evidence this solved permutation indicates that it would solve the public response best because they would see both the Congress and Congress. They would still see the juxtaposition between a conservative Congress and a liberal Congress, a conservative court and a liberal Congress. But they would err in favor of the Congress. Our Barnes evidence indicates that the lower courts don't fall. They say that they do fall. Look, their Herschel and Lincoln evidence are both awful. For the specificity of our evidence, it indicates that the lower courts don't fall. Here's more evidence. Barnes before Barnes are clear. Or even from this Congress past. Lower courts make circumvent the override process very basically likely to produce a consistent court decision. Seems like the losing Congress should solve the issue with respect to the litigation description of the court and explaining the indications of laws one might how to pass the laws to the system of the traditional laws ideological diverse market judge apply the discussion in case like case of basis to reach fair results not independent judiciary debate that it's not kind of all very shafty evidence to make any sense it does not make an internally differential between judiciary and independent judiciary is key to democracy because it can be separate from political institutions to solve these things. That's our diamond evidence.
How much time do we have?
3:54.